There are countries on old maps that you will never find today. Nations that were powerful, that were proud, and then simply stopped existing. Some were conquered, some collapsed, some were erased by war or revolution or the stroke of a pen. Here are 8 countries that no longer exist. And what happened to them? Number 8. The Ottoman Empire. It lasted 600 years. At its peak, it controlled Southeast Europe, the entire Middle East, and North Africa. 5.2 million square kilometers of territory. World War I ended it. The empire backed the losing side. By 1922, the last sultan was exiled. In 1923, Turkey was declared a republic. Today, more than 40 modern countries occupy what was once a single empire. Number 7. Yugoslavia. It was born after World War I, a kingdom uniting Serbs, Croats, Slovenes, Bosniaks, Macedonians, and Montenegrins under one flag. For decades, the communist leader Tito held it together by force of personality and ideology. When he died in 1980, the cracks began to show. In 1991, it started to break apart. What followed was the bloodiest conflict in Europe since World War II. Today, 7 countries stand where Yugoslavia once did. Number 6. The Soviet Union, the largest country in history by land area. 22.4 million square kilometers, 1/6 of all the land on Earth. It began in 1922, born from the ruins of the Russian Empire. For 70 years, it was a global superpower locked in Cold War against the United States. Then, in 1991, 15 republics declared independence in the span of a single year. On December 25, 1991, Mikhail Gorbachev resigned. The Soviet flag was lowered over the Kremlin. It was over. Number 5. Czechoslovakia. This one is unique because Czechoslovakia is one of history's rarest events, a country that simply decided, peacefully, to stop existing. Created in 1918 after World War I, it united Czechs and Slovaks for 75 years. After the fall of communism in 1989, the two groups couldn't agree on a shared economic future. There was no war, no violence, just a negotiated split. On January 1st, 1993, the Czech Republic and Slovakia were born. Historians call it the Velvet Divorce. Number 4. The Austro-Hungarian Empire. Before World War I, one of the most powerful empires in Europe ruled over a patchwork of 50 million people, speaking 12 different languages. It stretched from Vienna to Krakow, from Prague to Sarajevo. It was a cultural superpower, home to Sigmund Freud, the legacy of Mozart, Franz Kafka, and the Habsburg dynasty. World War I destroyed it. The empire backed the losing side. By 1918, it was dissolved. In its place, Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and pieces of Poland, Romania, Italy, and Ukraine. One empire, 8 countries. Number 3. Rhodesia. This one is one of the most controversial entries on this list. In 1965, the white minority government of southern Rhodesia declared independence from Britain illegally to maintain racial segregation. It became Rhodesia, an unrecognized state condemned by almost every country in the world. A brutal bush war followed. By 1980, after years of negotiation, Rhodesia held its first free elections. Robert Mugabe won. The country was renamed Zimbabwe. Number 2. The Republic of South Vietnam. For 20 years, 2 Vietnams existed simultaneously on the map. North Vietnam, communist, backed by the Soviet Union and China. South Vietnam, capitalist, backed by the United States. The Vietnam War killed approximately 3 million people. The United States withdrew in 1973. South Vietnam continued to fight alone. On April 30th, 1975, Saigon fell. North Vietnamese tanks rolled through the gates of the presidential palace. The Republic of South Vietnam ceased to exist. In 1976, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam was officially proclaimed. Number 1. East Germany. Our final entry isn't just a country that no longer exists. It's a symbol of everything that divided the modern world. And then, suddenly, unexpectedly, didn't. East Germany, the German Democratic Republic, was created in 1949, carved from the Soviet occupation zone after World War II. For 40 years, it built a wall, literally, to keep its own citizens from leaving. The Berlin Wall stood for 28 years. On November 9, 1989, crowds gathered on both sides. Guards received no orders to stop them. People began climbing. Hammers came out. The wall came down. 1 year later, Germany was reunified. East Germany ceased to exist. Pause. 2 seconds. These 8 nations remind us that borders are not permanent. History is not finished. There are countries on the map today that may not exist in 100 years. And there are nations yet to be born. Subscribe, because next week we're following another empire across the map.